Enterprise Application Lifecycle Management. I'm Steve Grossman, Technical Account Manager for CollabNet in Western North America, and today I'm going to review the reasons why enterprises choose TeamForge for their application lifecycle management solution. There are a lot of workgroup tools in the industry today that claim they scale to the enterprise, but many don't offer the capabilities to provide value to the entire enterprise when asked to scale beyond the workgroup. Some ALM solutions only integrate part of the workflow, such as requirements to test. Others only integrate requirements or stories to code. Some require you to provide point tools and do the integration work yourself. Based on our experience supporting large enterprises that develop software collaboratively, we've found these 6 items to be important. Comprehensive access controls that span the entire lifecycle. Support for common workflows and data across the entire enterprise. A pre-integrated platform of industry standard tools. Reporting on development metrics across projects and teams. Full traceability to artifacts and events across the entire lifecycle. And support for waterfall, agile, and hybrid methodologies. In the rest of this short presentation, we'll take a look at how each one of these in greater detail and explain why it's important and how TeamForge does it better. And now, on to a discussion about access controls. Access controls for a workgroup tool are pretty easy. Either you let people you trust join your project or you don't. At the enterprise level, there's a need for a lot more sophistication. Who should be a part of this project? Should they have the same access to this project as they do in other projects? Should they be a committer to the code base when they're really just a consumer of it? Should they be able to edit the build scripts? TeamForge uses role-based access controls to manage this easily. Users are assigned one or more roles. Roles can be defined at a global level or at a project level. Roles have permissions associated with them, and permissions control access to everything in TeamForge, including access to the source code, to tracker artifacts and state transitions, and then outside the TeamForge to other tools like Jenkins. Should a third party have access to your source code? With a role for them, it's easy to give someone like a customer access to the tracker artifacts that concern them without giving them access to change the code base. TeamForge access controls apply down to the branch level in the code base, providing a level of control that is very difficult with other tools intended for just the workgroup. Enterprises need ways to make sure that both enterprise practices and industry best practices are encouraged to improve quality and productivity, as well as ensuring normalized artifact types, workflow states, and properties for effective reporting across project. TeamForge allows a configurable set of data to be included in a template, including tracker types, tracker artifacts, workflows, and roles and permissions. Once templates are defined, they become part of a template library where they can easily be used to start new projects and ensure those projects follow your best practices. The third capability we've found to be important for enterprise ALM is integration. Anytime multiple tools must be installed and configured, there is time and effort involved in doing the installations, installing and troubleshooting the integrations, and making sure the tools communicate with your infrastructure. TeamForge simplifies this by providing a pre-integrated platform of tools that share a common database. All data from all of the tools like trackers, code reviews, source code, and discussions are available to be linked and easily referenced. Unlike a lot of point solutions that require you to provide an email server for email notifications of event-like status changes, TeamForge includes the James email server that makes it simple for TeamForge to both send and receive emails. TeamForge sends emails on various events, and it's able to receive emails and process them as well. Want to contribute to a discussion that you just got an email notification about? Simply reply to the email. Want to comment on a tracker artifact? Simply email that artifact ID at your TeamForge server name and your comments will be added to the artifact. This tight level of integration of the core tools of effective collaborative software development makes it easy and fast for your enterprise and your teams to get started with TeamForge for your ALM solution. The fourth capability of an ALM tool that we have found to be important at the enterprise level is cross-project reporting. In a work group, it's usually sufficient to report on the progress of a single project. At the enterprise level, where a development executive or a project manager likely has responsibility for multiple projects, or programs exist that are comprised of multiple projects, it's important to be able to get quick insight into the progress of multiple projects. TeamForge provides cross-project reports, subject to access controls of course, that help provide this information and have outputs that can easily be included on a dashboard. A number of common measurements like progress in points or hours against estimates, progress as a percent of work items remaining, release or sprint burn down, cumulative flow diagrams, and pie charts of various groupings can easily be placed on a dashboard page too. This gives people with responsibility for multiple projects across work groups an easy way to monitor progress and ensure multiple projects are trending towards success. TeamForge also has sophisticated cross-project code search based on Elasticsearch that allows enterprise developers to find and reuse relevant code across any project to which they have access. They can search the code repos of either a specific set of projects or simply all projects they have access to. This capability helps to ensure code reuse when appropriate without having to maintain tribal knowledge of where a particular class may be defined. From a single work group, it's not too difficult to prove that all the requirements for the project or release or sprint have been made. It's also usually not necessary to ensure that all enterprise standard practices like having a code commit associated to a work item, a code review, or a successful build on a standardized build server have been done. In an enterprise setting, however, these become important. When doing contract work especially, being able to sit down with your client with definitive proof that for every requirement you accepted from them, you wrote the necessary code, integrated it into the release, and tested it and possibly even deployed it. You need to be able to prove what test cases you ran and their status. TeamForge is the only ALM tool that provides this deep level of traceability needed by enterprise customers. In the enterprise, where projects and deliverables may be intertwined, it's also important that traceability extend to artifacts outside the current release stream. Much of the traceability in TeamForge is created automatically in response to various events rather than manually and subject to omission or error. For example, at the time that Jenkins runs an integration build, it knows what the commit to Subversion or Git was. It knows if it deploys the build product to a binary repo like Nexus or Artifactory. This means that all the traceability can be created automatically without human intervention or error. Once this traceability exists, people responsible for gauging the doneness of a work item have at their fingertips all the information they need to verify that all the required steps have been done. Many organizations are still in the midst of making a transition from waterfall processes to agile methods, and tools must help support this transition. Tools that only have agile management constructs don't help you manage waterfall type artifacts today, and older waterfall-based tools don't always do a good job of managing agile. TeamForge is unique in that it enables you to have projects that are waterfall, projects that are agile, and transition projects from waterfall to agile over time as project processes evolve. TeamForge also easily supports hybrid approaches like Water Scrum Fall, where the initial requirement solicitation may be very much done in a waterfall approach, but development is done using Scrum, and then application testing and release is done in a linear waterfall approach. The built-in document manager with versioning and document reviews helps to facilitate this process while tightly connecting waterfall documents to the rest of the SDLC for traceability to support audits and compliance. TeamForge also supports Kanban, either in a project by itself, such as a support project, where queues of work are managed by highest priority work item, or on particular work item types within an Agile project. In summary, CollabNet has found through working with our enterprise customers that these 6 things are important for application lifecycle management at the enterprise level. Comprehensive access controls that span the entire lifecycle, support for common workflows and data across the enterprise, a pre-integrated platform of industry standard tools, reporting on development metrics across projects and teams, full traceability to artifacts and events across the entire lifecycle, and support for waterfall, agile, and hybrid methodologies. Thanks for watching today. My name's Steve Grossman, and if you have any questions or would like to discuss what you've seen today, please feel free to email me at sgrossman@collab.net. Thank you.